on to the recording. Right, so what I want to do today is, and both of you will benefit from this, but work more on bending of the hip joint. So this is primarily for Jane because this is her nemesis. So hamstrings. So rather than getting, so we get into a habit with hamstrings and things. So I want to get us, so I want to get Jane so you are more up on your seat bones. You're more up and you're more curved with a small curve of your lower back. So if we sit on the mat with our legs crossed and you just hold on to those shins and you pull that chest up and you rock forwards onto the front bottom here. So I'm pulling all the way forward onto my front bottom, and then I'm going to peel my back up so I'm vertical. So I want you to take your tummy button towards the front of your shins more. Yeah, so you're lifting, that's it. So that's it, that's perfect, Jane. So even exaggerating that more, that is how you should be sitting. So your hamstrings are irrelevant when you're sitting in a chair. So you've got to roll those shoulders up to the ears now, down and back, and put the hands on the floor behind you. Yeah, but just patch off those fingers and push forwards with those hands. So you push that chest, yes, and you squeeze your shoulder blades together. So the good thing about coming up to Hertfordshire is I got to see you in person, wandering around, rubbing the children with the towels and things like that. And I get to see that your shoulders, so we want your shoulders to stay back more. So when you now take your hands off the floor and bring them around in front and allow the shoulders to come forward, the back sinks back. Yeah, can you feel that? So we're going to now take those arms out wide and round, put them behind and lift that chest up and rock forward. Yes. So this is how the back and the arms should be, and that will relieve and alleviate any discomfort in the back. And then you rest on the seat bones, hands come on the legs, and you'll find that you collapse onto your tailbone. So now sink onto your tailbone. Yep, so round, push the waistband of your trousers backwards, so you're slumping, and then hold on to the knees. Pull that chest up, bring that chin up high, bring the top of the head up, lift the chest up, slide your hands on the floor behind you, use your fists or your knuckle or whatever, and push those shoulder blades together. Push that chest forward, pull the tops of those arms. So getting the arms exactly where the humerus, the arm bone goes into or offers up next to the scapula, pull that backwards there. So you're pushing that chest forward sitting on the front bottom of the pelvis. And then try to hold, so the idea by the end of the session is that we try to, so now put your hands on your knees and try to hold yourself in that position. And you'll feel it's quite difficult because we're restricted with the tension in the upper back and also with the tension in the hip. So if we now, sitting like this, holding on the shin, slide that right leg out straight or in front of us, and then slide that left leg out, keeping the chest up, keeping on the front bottom. So pulling on that chest, putting the arms on those shins, lifting the chest forward, and you'll feel probably a bit of tension in that lower back. Okay, so breathing in. So on the out breath, lengthen those legs and round that back. Yeah, round that back. And then we're just going to lower ourselves all the way down to the floor. All the way down to the floor. So on the same thing, roll the shoulders up to the ears, pull those shoulders into the floor and slide them down towards the waist. And then bend the elbows. So my back is kind of lifted off the floor. Hands are in the sky. Bring that right knee up towards the chest and just put that right hand on the knee, keeping the shoulder blade on the floor. And bring that left knee up. And again, keep that left shoulder blade on the floor. I'm holding my knees. And now if I pull the knees into my chest, you'll feel that your back flattens and your tailbone lifts up. And then release. And the tailbone goes down and the back arches. And then you pull those knees in and the tailbone lifts and the back flattens. And you push the tailbone down and the back arches. Now I want you to keep it so the tailbone's down, the back arches, and you pull those knees into the chest without letting the back flatten. And then release. So we're working on that hip joint. Pull those knees in and release. Pull those knees in and release. Pull those knees in and release. Pull your hands on the inside of your thighs and let those knees hang apart from each other. Keeping the lower back lifted off the ground, keeping all those ribs on the ground, shoulders on the ground, and you're going to rock, pushing the right knee down, left knee down, right knee down, left knee, right knee, left knee. Push both knees down and wide. Now hold those legs apart and push those knees into the hands, keeping the head on the floor, keeping the ribs on the floor, keeping the shoulder blades on the floor, and keeping the lower back lifted off the ground. Pushing the tailbone down, pushing those knees into the hands. So I'm only pushing it at 20% contraction. I'm not going crazy. And then release and let those legs fall apart a little bit more. Take that right leg out straight. And the left leg, so we're doing the splits, legs are out straight, hands are on the inner thigh, just pulling those legs apart, lengthening the head from the tailbone. And then bend the right knee in, bend the left knee in, and then bring those knees back together. So again, still got those shoulders rolled into the floor. The upper ribs, middle ribs, bottom ribs are on the ground, and the lower back slightly lifted. Pull those knees into the chest, closing that joint, that hip joint down. And then holding on the left leg, let that right leg go down to the floor and let it go all the way out straight. And then let that left leg go down to the floor and let that leg go all the way out straight. Then take your hands up to the sky, chin into the chest, and roll yourself all the way up to sitting. Roll yourself all the way up to sitting. And then hold behind the thighs and lift that chest up and feel that it's easier to close down. Yes, look at that. So you've got a better tummy button is closer to your thigh. So we've worked in that hip joint a bit more. Okay, release those legs, grab your roller. Grab your roller. So we're going to keep referencing back to the sitting position all the way through the class this morning. So taking that roller, lean back, feet are at the front edge of the mat, lean back onto your elbows and have the roller under those bottom ribs. Breathing in. Breathing out, flare the bottom ribs up to the sky and push that, let that head fall down to the floor and just lengthen. Breathing in, breathing out. Bring the chin into the chest and bring yourself back up. Pop the elbows on the roller and move the roller up the back a little bit more. Holding yourself here, breathing in, breathing out, flare those ribs up to the sky, let that head fall down to the ground. Breathing in, and you can put your arms wherever you feel comfortable. I kind of have my arms above my body here, then my shoulder blades stay flat on my ribs. Breathing in, on the out breath, chin into the chest, lift your head back up. And then move that roller a few centimeters higher. Take the head in the hands if you need, breathing in. Breathing out, push that chest up to the sky, let that head come down to the mat. Breathing out. And then bring that head back up. And then one more, move the roller a little bit higher. Take the head in the hands, breathing in and on the out breath. So when you're up at the top, you want the elbows up in the sky. Push the chest down, let the head go down on towards the floor and feel it lengthen. So just feeling it lengthen like this and just opening that jaw and feel how loose it is with gravity pulling the top of your head away. Bring that chin into the chest, lift yourself up, and then holding the head in the hands, we're going to roll the roller down towards those bottom ribs, keeping that curve in the back. And then we're going to roll that roller back up towards the neck, keeping the curve in the back. And then we're going to roll that roller down towards those bottom ribs, keeping that curve. And then we're going to roll all the way back. And now we're going to lean on that left-hand side. Just leaning on the left a little bit. All the way down. All the way back. And then we're going to lean a bit further on the left-hand side. Drop that left knee down on the floor. All the way down. All the way back. And now we're going to go right onto the left-hand side. All the way down, keeping my left arm is parallel to the long side of the mat. And I'm going all the way down through that armpit. And all the way back. And now I'm going to go over onto the back of my left side. All the way down, all the way up, and then over a little bit more. So I'm just off the spine, all the way down, all the way back up, and then right over onto my back again. You might need to shimmy around a little bit, because otherwise you come off the mat and off the roller. So all the way up, all the way down, on the back, and then leaning on that right hand side, all the way down, all the way up, and then going right over a bit further. And then I'm going to go all the way onto the right, through that armpit, keeping that right arm parallel with the long side, all the way down, all the way up through that armpit, and I can put my bum on the floor and lift my hips up here, and then I can lower my hips and go all the way down along that side, and then I can lean over. So the back side of the back edge of the side is often the most tender, and then I can gradually go all the way back onto my back. And then I can come right onto my back. And opening. Good. Okay, right, pop the bum on the floor, lift that chin up and move that roller out of the way. So the roller, we've used the roller to mobilise the back. Now we could use a squishy ball. Have you got a squishy ball or a tennis ball nearby? Yeah, and sort of, you can use, actually for both of you, because your Sandra can use a tennis ball, but if you've got something that kind of size, that's fine, Jane. You've got a green one, haven't you? A green squishy ball. A tennis ball is going to is hard. Both of you are quite bony, and you haven't got a lot of extra. Yes, use that one, Jane. That'll be better. So use something that's a little softer. So Sandra, you've done this in the morning class, so you can use a tennis ball. So grab the ball, and what we're going to do is use the ball to massage the rhomboid. So up the side of the shoulder blade, we've got the shoulder blade there, we're going to come up the middle and along the top, and then back down with the ball. But we're going to use it off the spine. So I'm going to do my right shoulder first. So I'm going to put the ball in my bra strap area on the right side next to the shoulder blade. I'm going to let my head come down onto the floor, and I'm just going to shimmy that ball up and down. So you can use a tennis ball, Sandra, because you've used that before. Go up and down in between the spine and the shoulder blade. So then I bring it up to the top above my shoulder, and I go across. It actually is a bit easier with a tennis ball, but it's a lot harder. So you need, it's harder as in firmer. So then shimmy the ball around across the top of the shoulder. And then just slide that ball down the underside of that shoulder blade, or the inside, the middle edge by the spine. And then take the ball across to the other side. So you probably could use a ball, Jane. You just lean on, you have to lean on, I'm lying on my right shoulder and I'm just lifting and offering as if someone's got their thumb in between your shoulder blade and your spine. And you go up to towards the neck, and then just over in those trapezius muscles along the edge of the top edge of the neck. And then we can go back down, back down. So we're giving our body no excuses. Okay, move that ball out of the way. Move that ball out of the way. Lying flat on your back on the mat. So you should feel a bit more nimble and mobile in that spine. So roll those shoulders up to the ears, into the floor, slide the fingers down, slide them under the bottom. Breathing in, and on the out breath, squeeze those shoulder blades together and lift that chest up, pushing the back of the head into the floor, breathing in, breathing out. And then lift off those shoulders onto the top of the head, breathing in. Fill those ribs up with, those lungs up with air, breathing out. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. And then lower that back down onto the floor. Now bring those knees into the chest. And this time we're going to let the bum lift up off the ground, so we're curling the back. Hold behind those legs and pull those legs over, up over the face. So we're curling that back. And then release that back down to the floor. Hold behind the thighs, neutral spine with that tummy. Lower the left leg, lower the right leg, lengthen those legs away and slide those fingers under the bottom. Breathing in on the out breath, push that chest up to the sky and come onto the top of the head. Breathing in. Fill those lungs up with air. Breathing out. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Lengthen those legs away, squeezing those shoulder blades. And then release that back down onto the floor. Roll over onto your right hand side, or you can roll over onto the side facing me if you want. Put the underneath leg straight and bring that top leg over and slide it under the bottom leg. Put both hands away from you and make sure that your spine is parallel to the long side of the mat. Both hands are away. Let the head just rest on the floor. Breathing in on the out breath, take that top arm all the way over, keeping that left leg on the ground, turning the eyes to the left. Push those hands away from each other and lengthen the body. Breathing in. Breathing out, bring those hands back together and then open those arms up and lengthen those fingers away from each other, keeping that knee on the floor. So we're stretching through that lower hip, stretching through the muscles in the waist, stretching the ribs away from that hip, pushing those hands away from each other and then bringing those legs, those hands back together. So keeping that leg still. Bring that left arm all the way over, push those fingers away from each other, push the shoulder down on the floor, breathing in, breathing out, push those fingers away, and then release, let go of the legs, come onto your back, wiggle the hips over, put that left leg straight, and then bring that right leg all the way up, the top leg all the way over and tuck it under the bottom leg. Bring those hands back so they're on top of each other. Breathing in. And on the out breath, bring the top hand all the way over to the floor. Pushing that top hand down, keeping that top knee down. Now lengthen that underneath leg away from the top of the head and stretch the body out. Pushing that top knee to the floor, really putting that top shoulder to the floor. Breathing in, breathing out. Turning those eyes to that top hand and then bring that hand back together. Breathing in. On the out breath, open. Follow the hand with the eyes. Trying to get that left ear to the floor. Really pushing that left knee to the ground, sorry, right knee to the ground, right ear to the floor, right arm away. Legs, hands away from each other. And if you want, you can bring that left hand onto the right knee and just hold it while you push that right hand away. And then you can take that left hand back and push the hands from each other. And then bring that right hand all the way back and touch the hands on top of each other. And then take that hand all the way over. And reach those hands away from each other, stretching. Stretching and lengthening. Push the tailbone away from the top of the head. And then release those legs and roll back onto your back. And pull those knees into the chest. Let that tailbone lift up and loosen that lower spine. Drawing in the core, put the right foot on the floor, left foot on the floor, stretch those legs out. Bring those fingers up to the sky, chin into the chest, and roll yourself all the way up to sitting. Rolling yourself all the way up to sitting. And then we're going to hold behind those thighs. Roll those shoulders up to the ears and back, holding behind the thighs. We're going to pull forwards onto that front bottom again. So do that original action that we did in the beginning. Pulling forwards onto that front bottom. Good. Lift that chest up. Good. Feel how much straighter that is. Pop those hands on the floor behind. Push off those hands and lift the chest up higher. Good. Shoulders are back, pulling the upper arms, the upper parts of the arms backwards behind the body. And then bring those arms back onto the legs. Holding on the knees, lifting that chest up. Lift the chest up more, Jane. Good. Right, feel how much easier that is from the beginning. If I could take some screenshots, I would, because your body is way straighter. Way straighter. Hold up nice and tall. Good. And then take those hands away. Bring those arms up in front of you. Yeah, so with your arms in front. Now reach those hands forward and feel how the lower back wants to sink out. And then pull those shoulder blades back, keeping the arms straight, and lift that chest up. Good. Lift the chest higher. Good. Yes. Tummy forward. So that's how you've got to be able to hold yourself. Take those arms out wide if you're wiping a surface. Good. And then bring those arms back together in front, keeping the shoulders back, keeping the chest up. Keep up on your front bottom. Drop your hands on your knees. Pull yourself up again. Pull up, pull forward. Bring those hands up in front. Holding yourself, take those arms all the way out wide. Pop those hands on the floor behind. Lift that body up further onto that front bottom. And holding yourself here, keeping those shoulders back. Push that left knee a bit closer to the floor and the right knee a bit closer. Yeah, don't go mad. Keep that body tall. Feel how you have to hold with your tummy muscles a bit more to hold your pelvis. See if you can push those legs a bit further. So then ask yourself, is it hamstrings or is it just strength to hold yourself up? Take your hands off the floor, holding yourself there. Bring those arms up in front. Breathing in. And on the out breath, collapse the back. And we're going to lower all the way back down to the ground. All the way back down to the ground. Take those arms all the way over the head. Reach the right hand from the right foot. Reach the left hand from the left foot. Now we're going to stretch that hip a bit. So take those hands up to the sky, grab that right knee. Pull that right knee in towards the chest and push the tailbone down to the floor. So we arch that lower back. Pushing that tailbone down, pulling that knee in. Pull that knee towards you, let that tailbone lift up. Feel the stretch in the front of the back leg, of the straight leg. Push the tailbone down, feel the stretch into that right hip. Now you're going to bring that right knee over the body. So same action we did with the rotation. And push that right hand away, looking at the right hand. Pulling that right knee to the floor. So letting that right hip lift up. So when we do the stretch this way, there becomes a bit of tension on the inside, on our inner thigh. We're using the leg as the lever. pulling us, when we do the stretch with the upper body coming round, the legs trying to lift up all the time. So it's a different action. Pull that right shoulder down and back. Let yourself roll onto that left-hand side. Support the head in the hand and take hold of the right leg in the hand. Right, so pubic bone, tummy button, breastbone. Tuck your bottom forward so that you're straight in the front of the body. Look down your body and see that your knee's in front of your body. Now I want you to take that knee behind your body so you can't see it. So it goes behind the body. Now push that foot into the hand so you feel the tension through the front of that leg. Breathing in, breathing out. And then push that foot behind the body. Breathing in, breathing out, lengthening the foot and the hand away behind, pushing them. And then release. Release that leg. Release that, roll back onto your back. Pull that knee in towards the armpit again. And then take hold of that foot and turn that leg. Turn that leg, just hold it here. Pulling that knee towards, sorry, pushing the knee away and the foot towards and gliding it across the body and feel the stretch in that bum. Glide it across and then glide it back and then glide it across and then glide it back and then bring that left knee up and pull that left knee in towards the left shoulder, pushing the right knee away. And then release, push that left leg straight, let go of that right foot, hold the right knee, push the tailbone down, pull that knee up. And then let that leg go to the floor, take the hands over the head, reach and stretch those arms away, and then bring the arms to the sky and bring the other knee in. Putting that knee in towards the armpit, push that tailbone down to the floor, feel the stretch through the hip. Lengthen the head away from the waist, breathing in. Breathing out, pull that left leg all the way over the body, turning the eyes to the left. Turning the eyes to the left, pushing that left hand away, pulling that left knee to the floor, letting the left hip turn. So if we're stiff in the back, we will be pulling on the knee and it will be forcing on that hip joint. So what we want to be doing is letting the back turn to let that knee come to the floor, keeping that shoulder on the floor. And then roll back onto the back, pull that knee in towards the armpit again, push the tailbone down. So you bend on the inner part of the hip flexors. Pull that left knee over the body again, turning the eyes left, letting the hip lift up, letting it turn. Getting the rotation in the spine. If you haven't got rotation in the spine, you'll overuse your hips and shoulders. Roll onto your back. Sorry, roll onto your right hand side. Roll onto your right. Support your head with your right arm. Lift down your body, breastbone, tummy button, pubic bone. Bring that pubic bone forward. The knee is now in front of me. Take hold of my foot and pull that leg so that I can't see my knee anymore. It goes behind my body. Feel the stretch through the front of the leg. Breathing in. On the out breath, push that foot into the hand. Let that right shoulder extend. Breathing in. Pushing that foot into the hand, letting that foot and hand go away behind me. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out, lengthening. And then releasing, rolling back onto the back. Bring that left knee into the body, take hold of the left foot, push the left knee away, turning that shin bone, and then glide that foot and leg across the body. Glide it across. Glide it back. Glide it across. Glide it back, bring that right leg up and put the right leg against the left foot. Bring that right leg in, push that left knee away, pushing with the elbow. Push that left knee away, breathing in, breathing out. Push that left knee away, pulling the right leg in. And then release that right leg. Release the left foot, hold on to the left knee. Push the tailbone into the floor and pull that left knee in towards that armpit. And then release, turn that, push that left leg up into the sky. Holding the calf if you can, keeping your shoulder blades on the ground. Trying to push that knee straight, flex that foot, point that toe. Flex that foot, point that toe. Feel those calf muscles working. Flex that foot, point that toe. Circles with that foot. Circles the other way with that foot. Flex it, pull the leg in, release it. Let that leg go down to the floor and out straight, and then bring the other leg in, and let's do the hamstring on this leg. Holding onto the right leg, push the tailbone down to the floor, make sure the shoulders are flat. Extend that right leg up into the sky. Flexing that foot, pointing that toe. Flexing that foot, trying to push the knee straight, pointing the toe. Flexing the foot, pointing the toe. So when I point my toes, it feels like I've got stockings on and they're tight around my feet. Flex the foot because it's the fascia all coming tight. Release that leg, loosen it, let it go straight out on the ground. Breathing in, bring those hands up to the sky. Chin into the chest, roll yourself one vertebra at a time, all the way up to sitting. All the way up. Pop the hands on the floor beside you. Lift yourself up so your bum's loose on the floor, and then rest down on that middle bottom. Yep. So just put your hands in fists and put the fists next to the bum, and then we're going to straighten the elbows. If we're getting out of a swimming pool, straighten the elbows and lift. So I pull my shoulders down. So you should be able to lift vertically. Yeah, so using those shoulder muscles. Swinging that bum. Yeah, and then lower the bum on the floor in the middle. Okay, Jane, roll those shoulders. So here, roll those shoulders up, pull them back. Right, pull them down. Keep them back and down. Now put either the fists on the floor or the palms. Okay, if you want to do the palms, that's fine. You won't get quite so much lift because you've lost a bit from the knuckle. And we're going to push. So I'm going to push my hands into the floor and my bum comes light on the ground. Keep those shoulders back. Don't let them, you've let them go here, look. You've let them go there. Keep them there. Yes, lifting up. Now resting down on the bum. Soften those knees. Pull forwards onto your front bottom. Yeah, lift that chest up high. Right, this is how Dr. Jane needs to spend her time sitting. Lift that chest up, holding those tummy muscles. Feel how much those tummy muscles have to work. Lift those arms up in front of you. This is how dressage riders feel. Bring those arms wide. This is how divers feel. Bring those arms together. Gymnasts. Bring those arms wide. Take those hands straight up in the sky. Up in the sky, chest up. Bring those arms down in front. Feel how your tummy muscles have to work so you don't collapse. Keep the chest up. Take those arms up into the sky, keeping that chest up. Take those arms down wide, down to the ground. Bring them round, bring them up in front. Okay, so this is how we have to sit, and it's my tummy muscles are working hard. My upper back muscles are working hard. Okay, now release. Right, we're going to roll over onto all fours. And we're going to do similar stuff on all fours and get those back muscles working, and then we'll come back onto that position. So on all fours, roll the inside of the elbows forwards, keeping the middle fingers parallel. Turn the tailbone down to the floor, push the back up and let the eyes come down to the knees. Breathing in on the out breath, turn the tailbone up to the sky, bring those eyes up and push the belly down and push the breastbone forward. So you're stretching through that back. So this is an exaggeration. Stretch those buttocks, pulling the knees apart on the floor without actually moving them. You feel the tension through that lower back. Now turn the hips over, pushing against the tension of the floor. Turn the hips over so the tailbone goes down. Eyes go down, back goes up. Keeping the knees pulling apart on the floor, turn the hips. So the tailbone goes up to the sky, eyes come up. So we're engaging those glute muscles. Okay, bring yourself into horizontal. Right, middle fingers are parallel. So you're going to soften your elbows and glide back, keeping neutral spine. So we're shutting that hip joint down. We're working on that hip joint again. So this is a really good way of doing it. You've got to really work to keep that pelvis down. Don't let it rotate. Squeeze the knees apart on the mat. Bring yourself back up onto all fours. Breathing in on the out breath, pulling the knees apart on the mat, glide back. Don't let that pelvis turn down to the floor. Keep your tailbone really up high in the sky. Jane, tailbone up. Hang on, come back up onto all fours. Right, turn the tailbone up, bring that head up. Yes, right, you go backwards in that position with the pelvis. Keep it there, keep that tummy really engaged, pull the knees apart, don't let the pelvis turn over. So we're shutting, we're lowering the pelvis down onto the thigh. Good, 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 good. And then come all the way back up. Keeping that pelvis, so I'm exaggerating it with you. We've got the tailbone up, we've got the tummy down, glide back. So glide all the way back. Keeping it down. So you've got a big shut of that hip joint there. You've got a neutral spine in your pelvis. Tailbone up, don't let it turn down, it's not child pose. So what I'm trying to illustrate is that you're capable of having that spine in neutral and that hip very well shut. Sit yourself back up so it becomes muscular to hold yourself when you're sitting. Turn the inside of the elbows forward, breathing in. Turn the tailbone up, one more, gliding all the way back. Stretching through that hip. My tummy has to work really hard to stop the pelvis from turning. And my back muscles and my chest is stretching open. And I feel quite a strain through my lower back. And come back up onto all fours. Good. Okay, so Sandra, when you do it, glide. I'm taking my bum towards my feet. Bum backwards. Yes, that's it. And then you can soften your elbows, is fine. And then your back stays parallel to the floor. Good. Slide those hands forward and we're going to come down onto the tummy. Open those hips up. Bringing those forearms next to the body. So the palms are down. So clenching the bum and pushing the pubic bone in the ground and lengthening the legs. Drawing the core in and lifting the belly up. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. And then push those forearms into the mat as you breathe out and lift that chest up. Lifting that chest up, lengthening, breathing in, breathing out and release. Let everything onto the floor. Breathing in. Breathing out, clench the bum, drawing the tummy, lift that upper body up, pulling those elbows towards the waist but not moving them. Lifting the belly off the floor, opening the chest, and then release. All the way down, staying down here, forehead on the ground, clench the bum, tighten the thighs and lift those legs up. Drawing the core and lift the belly up. And then breathing in. On the out breath, lift the hand and forearm up and lower. Hand and forearm up and lower. Hand and forearm up, hold it there. And then lift the whole arm up into the sky. And then lower the arm down so the elbow only touches the floor. Lift the arm up. Lower it down so the elbow only touches the floor. Lift that arm up, hold it. Now pulse those arms up higher for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold those arms here. Pass those arms up higher for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold them. And again, pass up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release everything down. So breathing in, on the out breath, pull those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Push off those forearms, clench the bum, lift the legs, draw the core in, lift the belly, and lift the chest up off the ground. Opening the front of the body, squeezing those shoulder blades together, really clenching, and then release. Hold yourself down here at flat. Draw the core in and lift up the belly. Pull those shoulders back and down, clench the bum, lift those legs. Now we're going to just lift the right leg up for 5, 4, 3, raise it and lower it, 2, 1. Put it back in a rest position, which is still off the floor. Lift that left leg up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold both legs up so the belly stays off the ground all the time. Pull those shoulders back and down. Lift that right leg up for 3, 2, 1. So there's no movement in the pelvis. Lift the left leg. 3, 2, 1, and release. So when we walk, we step onto our front foot, we clench our bum, and we move the leg behind us, exactly as what you've just done. So roll the shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Draw in the tummy, clench the bum, lengthen the legs, lift them off the floor. Breathing in on the out breath. Right leg lifts and release. Left leg clench and lift and release. Right leg clench and lift and hold and release. Left leg clench and lift and hold and release. Right leg clench and lift and hold. And pulse it up for 3, 2, 1, and release. Left leg lift and hold, and pulse it up for 3, 2, 1, and release. Okay, you shouldn't feel this in your lower back. If you are, then your tummy is releasing. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Clench the tummy and lift it. Clench the bum, push the pubic bone in the floor, lift the legs up. Push off those forearms and lift that upper body up. Breathing in. Breathing out. Slide those hands back next to the bottom rib. Elbows in the sky. Lift that chest up. Breathing in on the out breath. Push off those hands and rest on the pubic bone. Clenching the bum. Breathing in. Push off the hands and make the arms straight. Onto the knees. Breathing in. Push that bum into the air and go back into child pose. Just release the body. Release the body and let it stretch. Push those hands forwards. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Pull the knees apart and lift that body up onto all fours. Come down onto the elbows and slide onto your stomach again. Lower down to the ground. Roll your shoulders up to the ears, up to the sky and down. Clench the bum, push those legs, those pubic bones into the floor and lift those legs up. Draw in the tummy and lift that off the ground. Breathing in. On the out breath, lift those arms into the sky. Pulse the arms up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift both legs up for 5, 4. Keep the tummy up. 3, 2, 1. Bring those arms back onto the floor. Lift that upper body up, keeping the legs in the air. Breathing in. Lift those arms up off the floor. Hang on, I'm on my bottom rib, Jane. Chest's off the ground. Yeah, arms are up. Good. Lift those legs up for 3, 2, 1. Lift the arms up for 3, 2, 1. Lift the legs up. 3, 2, 1. Lift the arms. 3, 2, 1. Pop the hands by the bottom rib, keep those legs up. Yeah, breathing in on the out breath. Push off the hands, legs come to the floor, rest on the pubic bone. Yeah, coming up into up dog, lift up a bit more, Jane. Yeah, lift up more. Push off the hands, come onto the knees. Shoulders back, yeah, and then bum in the air back into child pose. Well done. Well done. That was hard. Push those hands away. Stretch through that hip. So sink that tummy between those legs. Turn that tailbone up as much as you can and push those hands away. Walk the hands to the left-hand side of the mat and drop the bum to the right. And then walk the hands to the right-hand side of the mat and drop the bum left. And bring those hands back into the middle. And bring yourself back up onto all fours and walk your knees forward and sit yourself back down. So sit yourself back down. So keeping those knees soft, hold behind those thighs, breathing in. On the out breath, pull that body forward, lift that chest up. Good, pull that body forward and lift that chest up. Put those hands on the floor behind. You can put your knuckles on the floor or the palms. Roll those shoulders back and down. Lift that chest up and support the body and push that right knee down to the floor. And then the left knee down to the floor. A bit lower, see if you can take them lower. Paddling them down one at a time, keeping the chest up, keeping on the front bottom. Breathing in, breathing out. Take them as low as you can. Push off those fists and take those arms out in front of you. Arms out in front. Lift that chest up, bottom, hang on, bring your hands horizontal to the floor, so fingers should be shoulder height. Lift that chest up, pull those shoulder blades back. Yes. Lift that tummy button forward, pull those shoulder blades back. Lean back, keeping neutral. Lean as far as you feel comfortable. Holding here, come back up to vertical. Feel yourself rotate over those seat bones. Bend your knees a bit if you want, get your chest higher, both of you chest higher. Good, leaning back. Now challenge yourself, bring your arms up to the sky. Yeah, chest up. Bring those arms back down to horizontal. Sit yourself back up to vertical, bring those chests up. Bottom ribs forwards towards the knees. Bottom ribs forwards. Hands behind the thighs. Hands behind the thighs. Pull yourself back up, lift that chest up, bring that tummy button towards those thighs. More on the front bottom, Jane. Shoulders back. Squeeze those, yeah, squeeze those shoulders together. Lift the head up, bring those arms up in front. Breathing in. On the out breath, leaning back. Check, hang on. Right, come back up. Okay, so just watch me. Don't do that to lean back. Don't want you like that. I want you like that. Leaning back, leaning, sitting up. Good. Good, challenge yourself. Good, leaning. Yeah, now sit back up. Now lift your chests up and lean back. Keep that chest up, turn a bit to the right. Hands to the right. Turn a bit to the left, hands to the left, tummy button left. Turn a bit to the right. Chests up. Turn a bit to the left. Back to the center. Sit yourself back up. Bring those arms straight up over the head. Loosen that neck. Bring those arms all the way wide to the floor. Put them behind you. Breathing in. On the out breath, push that chest forward. Push those arms straight. Push those legs down to the floor. Feel yourself there. Putting those shoulder blades back together. And you're going to take the hands off the floor without changing the body position. Rest those hands on the legs. Bring that chest up. Good. More up. More up. Good. Bring those hands all the way up to the sky. All the way out wide. Rest them on the floor behind. Push off those hands and come onto the front bottom more. Shoulders back. Good. Breathing in. Breathing out. Hold yourself here. Bring your arms all the way around in front. All the way up to the sky. Big breath in. Big breath out. Let those hands go. Rest them on your legs. And roll your shoulders. Oh, there's a big sigh.